So I finished my assembly with the Anycubic Go, and I noticed a few people complaining that this axis was maybe not following tight with this one. There was some kind of cantilever type action going on. So when I put this together, I kind of kept that in mind and maybe assembled it a little different than the instructions or whatever. But we got our owl here, which is the first print on this machine. It's their filament, which is just running out now, and their file. This is the one that comes on the SD card. So let's take a look at what we got here. Came off the build service real nice. Let's see if we can shut this down and make less noise. I think this is very clean. I don't see any problems. Don't see any problems with that. So, there, of course, it's their optimized slice. I'm going to do some models with this. The bed and z-axis, we'll talk about that. This bed is a set location, set distance. There's no adjustment springs on here. There's solid spacers. I can try to do a nice wide print. I want to see what this x-axis does. When you see this coupler turning around to compensate for maybe your bed's not trammed correctly. Yeah, trammed. If your bed's not trammed correctly, there'll be a lot of movement on your Z coupler, which, personally, I don't like. I'd rather have a bed that's really as close as possible. There's a lot of people who make printers, although this is a budget printer. It's $189 still on sale. I think I got mine cheaper than that, but that seems to be their base price, maybe $189 something. Currencies are changing every day. So, they cut some things out. There's no springs and wheels. But it seems to me like this bed here, there is some solid spacers in here. I think, if I get creative, take this screw out, drill a hole all the way through their plate here. You could probably put in maybe silicone spacers or a spring, and then put some wheels on here. If I don't like the movement I'm getting with my Z, that's probably what I'll do. I'm gonna run some prints as this is, user experience. I know I'm a little more advanced user than most people, but yeah. So there is a way to modify that. This custom extrusion they have here has no ability so far, unless somebody makes an aftermarket one, to put the dual Z kit on, which would keep both the Z axes tight, moving in synchronized up and down Z. So, unless somebody makes something to fit in here, it seems to me like a dead end on that. But like I said, that's alright. So far, this came out, and, back in the day when the Ender 3, which this apparently is competing with, that's all you had was a single Z. And actually, I think the original CR10 was a single Z also. So it's not like, they went back. They just, they're just staying with the original, the OG technology. so this came out good anyways. You know, I should have put a white light in here, but I'd say that looks pretty good. When I get some time, I'm going to print a head on here. You know, the heads that I do, very high quality profile printing. So we'll do a head on here. Kind of upgrading my studio. I had this 1080 on here. I'm going to put this 4K panel on the wall. Yeah, doing a little work on the studio all the time, work in progress. So yeah, we'll print the high quality gray filament head that most people are familiar with my work with that. So sometimes they come out almost like a resin quality. That's about it. I think this is a pretty good machine. I think some maybe newbies are going to have difficulty. It took me about an hour to put this thing together. The only issue I had, which I have to verify, was mounting the Z motor here. They said use a 16 millimeter screw, and it was actually about a 20 millimeter screw that was needed. So when I was putting the screws in, they were kind of stripping out. You're just catching like maybe 1 or 2 threads going into the extrusion here. So I happen to have them in stock, but you know, some new user might not have that. But like I said, I gotta verify that before I talk about that anymore. Besides from that, you know, everything went together very well. This little display here, actually quite functional. I thought, you know, when I first looked at it, it was kind of flaky, but it actually has some nice functionality to it. A little bit small. Most people used to touch screen, big screen, nice, you know, big screen come out of here. But yeah, it is functional, so that's good. Keep the cost down somewhere. Besides from that, I don't know, nothing else to say at the moment. Anycubic Kobra Go. Take care. Happy printing.